Hello, everyone at home again. Welcome to my program again, Bit and Pieces. My name still remains Murphy Ojo. We're back to our normal, normal topics. I believe most of you have been following me for the last maybe 4 or 5 weeks. We've covered a bit of what I call just little mistakes in discharging our duties as a domiciliary carer. As I said earlier on, when I started this program, at the inception of this particular program, I said something. I said I created this program just for people who work within domiciliary care, because most of those mistakes I've been talking about must have been taken care of if you work in residential setup. But when you work in domiciliary care, there is possibility there might be a mix-up here and there, and we've covered some topics. If you want to know some of the topics I've covered, you can check on my YouTube page. But today, I'm ready to go into moving and handling, which is a bit of a very, very tough to say that, okay, there are a lot of mistakes that one can pick up, but one needs to maybe practicalize it for you to be able to get it. But along the line, over the weekend, somebody asked me a question, which is a very straightforward answer. I don't know why at this stage, somebody will still be asking me that question. And that is, if they go to their clients and then they meet the clients on the floor, what should they do? This is a very straightforward answer. To some extent, straightforward answer. To other side, there is certain things that you need to do, provided you know the clients very well. So they said, okay, you go into your client's house, you meet your clients on the floor, what should you do? Should I help the client off the floor? The answer is capital no. Capital what? Capital no. Because when somebody had a fall, it can happen. Just put yourself into that perspective. You had a fall. You don't know what might have happened. Sometimes it is when you stand up, you realize that, I even hurt myself here. Sometimes it's even the second day. You'll be feeling that, I think my leg is swollen or some part of your body is swollen. Something like that. You find it a bit, something or the other, except if you just normal fall and then you stand up quickly. It's not that you actually fall to the floor. So now imagine somebody who is an elderly had a fall. Somebody in this kind of situation had a fall, and then you go in there to help the client and you meet this old lady on the floor. What do? You don't just make her comfortable on the floor or him comfortable on the floor, whomever it is, male or female. Make them comfortable on the floor. Why you quickly call for help? When I said help, I didn't mean your colleague. I mean 999. Just straight away. You call because when somebody had a fall, you don't know whether they've aggravated whatever that they might be having before. Sometimes they had a fall and then they broke their bone, they broke their hip, they broke their femur, they do whatever. Sometimes they even hit their head on the floor. You are not there. You didn't know how that thing happens. So you need to allow the professionals, those people who are trained, to bring them up to come. But what you find among most of our domiciliary carers is that they do help most of their clients up. They do help. I've almost been in a mess because of carers' problem. Let me cite this example, because when I said I've seen a lot, I've seen it almost everything. You can't see everything, but I've seen a lot. The client actually had a fall. They put the call across to me, and I said, what are you doing? Just call the 999 straight away. It was the last call of the day. And I believe immediately I mentioned the last call of the day, people who are familiar with domiciliary care, they know what I mean. People just want to go. So what happened was they put the call across to me. I said they should call the 999. And they told them that you take them between 2 and 4 hours before ambulance can come. And we were talking about around 9 o'clock in the evening. Meaning the carer is supposed to be there till probably 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock in the morning, which is next to impossibility. So I put a call across to the family member, probably the daughter, to be. And the daughter said, okay, we're turning to the two of us. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Kira needs to go home. Kira cannot stay there for the next 4 hours. And sometimes ambulance stay there for the next 4 hours. Sometimes it's around 2 hours before they come. So what can we do? So I said to them, we were thinking between myself and the daughter, what should we do? Because the daughter lives a bit far from my mom. So, and I said, okay, let me volunteer to do one thing. They should put a call across to the ambulance people and give them my number. So when they come, because they need to get indoor, so I can give them, what's the name? Key safe number for them to get into the house. And if the neighbor is around, maybe they should just call on the neighbor. So we made the arrangement, but they shouldn't lift the clients up on the floor. But to our own surprise, they actually lifted the clients. And then the following day, the care actually lifted the clients. So meaning that they went contrary to the instruction given to them. And then the following day, it was then they realized that because they helped the woman off the floor, they've aggravated the issue. She actually broken her hip and then another certain set of another bone in her body. So a problem arises. So I won't go into because later everything was later resolved. What I'm saying is that when you meet anybody on the floor, you do not have the right to bring them up, to lift them up, or to help them up. Especially in that situation that I just showed you now, you do not have the right because you don't know what is going on, what the pain they are going through, whether they've broken their hip or not. You don't know. So you shouldn't. That's straightforward answer. Don't just spare the time that you will waste. If it is during the day, you can stay there while they cover all other jobs. If it is in the night, you, your coordinator, and the family member should find a way out. And your manager, yourself, the carer, the coordinators, your manager, and the family member, they should find a way out to make sure that, okay, they get ambulance there on time, and they were able to take them to the hospital, or to come down to come out. Okay, they've checked them, they could realize that nothing happens. That's it. But you don't know. They might have broken legs, broken bones, they might even hit their head on the floor. They might have blood on their brain, other stuff. They might have bleeding on their brain. So you don't know. So allow ambulance people to come in and bring them up and do their job. That is one thing. There are other situations whereby your clients actually went down. This is a situation whereby we have some certain set of clients, whereby when they're agitating for something, what they normally do, they will sit on the floor. So far you know that kind of the attitudes to your client, then you know what to do. That is when your persuasive skills actually comes in. You need to persuade them to leave that position for, okay, you don't know what, you know your client very well, you know how to speak to them, you know how to persuade them to leave the floor. So that one will not need you calling the ambulance or not. You don't even need to lift them up. By the time you start to talk to them, to persuade them, you don't know, Mr. This or Mrs. This kind of a thing. You find a way to talk to them, you balance the rhythm of what they're looking for. Most of them, they're agitating to, okay, if you like, I've seen a client that, okay, whenever they ask him to come and have a wash, we rather sit on the floor. Meaning he doesn't ever want to have a wash. Just persuade you don't know what. Once we have a wash this week, today, you not have a wash until the next 3 or 4 days. At that particular point in time, they okay, yeah, some will listen to you. Or you just tell them, okay, it is only twice in the week you're having a wash. And today is the next one. After this one, nothing until next week. That sometimes they calm down and they realize that, okay, let me go and have a wash. Because though we said you should respect clients' choices, whether they want to have a wash or not, but you should also remember that some people who just like to self-neglect themselves. They just like to not to do anything. They don't want to have a wash, they don't want to do anything. So that is, which is you must have already known that, okay, this is my client, and then you'll be able to know what to do. So that kind of an issue, you will need to persuade them to leave the floor. And at the end of the day, after about a few minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes, I bet you they will stand up. That's the issue, I think. But the one that you meet on the floor, struggling or not able to stand up, please just find a way to make them comfortable on the floor and call for the help. That is what you have to do. So there is another question somebody asked me. The first is outside this program, it is about if Kira do this, boom. If Kira does this is the discipline. If Kira does that, this is the problem. If Kira does that one, this is the problem. Yeah, that don't they have any rights under law? I'm telling you now, even if you read your Care Act very well, Kira have equal rights as clients, basically. You as a carer, you have equal rights as your client. But if you are looking after children-in-law actually took care of you, actually taking care of you. Care Act actually take care of carer who are looking for after clients that are 18 years upward. But anybody if you are looking after anybody that are younger than 18 years, we have Children Act or Children Law that will look after that one. So before Care Act came in, there are lots of laws that are not just everywhere. Carer almost don't even have any right. But since Care Act comes in, both you and the client have equal rights. But what we normally have at the initial stage of any issue that arises, what we normally have is this. Because of you're looking after vulnerable people, people tend to have this kind of removes or this kind of what's the name? How can I put it? This kind of feelings for anybody in that kind of range, that they are vulnerable people. What do you have to behave that? Even if you've done your job very well, but there are lots of carers too that are very vulnerable in the hands of clients and in the hands of their family also. I've seen the family from the hell. I've seen the client from the hell. That the way they deal with their carer, you will not want to go near it. And it's not that they are suffering from maybe, okay, if somebody is suffering from dementia, yeah, that one is you can think that, okay, because of what they're suffering from. But there are some family, there are some clients, they're just elderly, but they are very tough. I've seen a client who racially abused carer. And carer continues like that until the information actually came to me. And then by the time we took it off with CCG, at the end of the whole day, they actually warned the client. It's either you stop what you are saying or you'll be taken to a home, which he doesn't want. And this is a very young man at the age of 50-something, an ex-police officer, racially abusing carer, taking the opportunity of him being in that kind of position. It's not that you are mentally derailed or anything. He's just physically incapable of doing what he has been doing before. But he was taking advantage of for this carer. Actually stepping, we escalated the whole thing. and then they put him to where he belongs. Yeah, you have some family members too that they just thought carer are just crap. That's the way they think. What is your job? It's not that you come down here to wipe a bum. So that is what is in their head. They don't really care. They don't really give carer any respect. You have the same right as your client. Though I know some provider will not want to jeopardize their business. You rather find the thin line just to calm you down. But you and your client, you have the same right under law. If you are able to push your case very well, I believe it is very, very tough. In the environment that we are in now, it's very, very tough. But just to let you know, if you know that you are on the right path and you go to the right authority, right, and you have dealt with the right people, I bet you get justice. You get justice. So there are two things I want you to know now. Your client, you shouldn't pick up your client on the floor when they fall down, when they can't move. Call the ambulance to come and pick them down. If it is the one that are used to it, that is just, it has accustomed to that person, you are very free. Just call what's the name? Just persuade the client to stand up. That is a way you talk to them in your own language. You've been dealing with them for some time now, so you should be able to know how to deal with them. So that's what I mean. And then the third question is about whether do you have rights? Yeah. Both the client and you yourself as a carer, you have equal rights in the face of law. When it gets to the stage of investigation or this everything, and you know what you are talking about, you report at the right time, everything is detailed, and then you know what you are doing, and you are well trained, I bet you will come out on top. It's always tough. It's always tough. When you have a case on your head, it's always tough. So that is that. So as I said earlier on, I want to go into moving and handling. And then the area that I want to talk about, that is what I said today too, what I started with, just part of moving and handling. So, excuse me, the next one that I'll be moving into is from standing to sitting. As I said, it's always tough without showing any visual thing. So we had a training in my place of work recently. So I now had the clips, just a bit of clips, and I'll be explaining as we go along, so people will be able to know how to sit your client from standing position. I want us to see this. Boom. So if you look at the lady, I want to be explaining something for you. Let's start from the hand. Okay, you have your client standing in front of the chair. They will be sitting down now. And then you guide them to that chair. You don't guide them by giving them their hand and unlock the hand. If they fall, the two of you are going down. If they show, maybe they trip or anything happens to them, the two of you are going down. What you need to do is just to your fist, and then tell them to put their hand on top of your fist. So you will use that hand to guide them. So the next thing you do is to make sure that they move back to the chair and they feel the chair that they'll be sitting on. Imagine they're about maybe half foot away from the chair, and then they sit on the tip of the chair and they fall. That can cause a lot of an issue. Broken back, even death. So make sure that you move them, and then they will, at the back of their leg, they feel the chair. Yeah, that is the way you can see it in that video. They move back to make sure that they feel the back of the chair. When they feel the back of the chair, they'll be able to, you now talk to them okay, to hold their hand on that chair, the hand of the chair that they want to sit on. You will see the lady we ask the lady to do exactly that now. So you can see that. Yeah. They will now sit. Another thing I want you to see there is that look at the position of the lady. I do not mean the client. I mean the carer, the person that is acting as a carer. The position changes into 90 degrees. So when the position changes to 90 degrees and they're going, as the client leans forward, the carer will then put his or her palm to the side of the shoulder like this. So let me show you. Look at it. So, yeah, can you see that? Yeah, they will now use it and use the other hand to the sacrum area of the client to see the client back perfectly. That's what you do when you're doing standing to sitting. It's a very straightforward thing. You don't just, okay, you take them there and then use one. No. The chair must be stable. Make sure that the back of their leg actually they feel the chair that they'll be sitting on, and then ask them to use their hand as a leverage on top of the chair handle they'll be sitting on. While you then put your right hand, it depends on where you are, your right hand onto their shoulder, because this is how they will be. And if care is not taken, elderly people, vulnerable people, you allow them to go forward, they're going down. So by the time you use this, you turn your body to 90 degrees. By the time you put your hand here, and then the other hand to their back, you just sit them down perfectly. It doesn't take any problem, any time, any issue. It's a very straightforward thing. But for me to be able to explain to you, I have to show you that video. I have to show you the video. But most of the carers, they make a lot of mistakes in this kind of a thing. They just put the chair and then they will now hold their hand and then push them to sit down. Sometimes people even use their body. And when you use their body, you injure yourself. On no ground, if the equipment is not right, don't do moving and handling. It will continue to be, every week, I will be giving you different from sitting to standing, different kind of situation. But it's better for you to do the thing in the right way. If the equipment is not right, voice out. Voice out, say it out. Nobody will kill you. Nobody will say anything to you. They will rather know that, okay, actually she knows or he knows what he's talking about. Not that you don't know what you are talking about. So, before I go further, as I said last week, I said this month of May, there'll be other programs that will be coming in. And one of the programs is this, a newspaper review, when we'll be reviewing newspaper, made in Nigeria newspaper. So, for us to know what is going on in our country, for us to be people that live there, that will be reviewing the paper. So I want you to meet me on my channel, that is Hypertech TV, on my YouTube channel, and on my Instagram channel, also Hypertech TV, every Saturday by 5 p.m. when my guys will be around to review the newspaper. That is according to their own views. Not, you might share different view, and then it doesn't really matter. But how do we move forward with different situations that is happening in that country now? What do we think? What do we say about it? So that one we start from this Saturday by 5 p.m. Then there is another one. Another one is the movie review. Movie review will be about, I'll be the one that will be handling that one. And then I'll be reviewing mainly Nigeria, as usual, Nigerian movie. According to some people, we have the number. So I'll be reviewing Nigerian movie, Yoruba, Igbo, English, all this stuff. So it depends on what we are reviewing. The language might be a mixture of that particular kind of language and English. Kind of, if I'm reviewing a Yoruba movie, definitely there will be me coming in with Yoruba for those people who do not understand English, kind of. So I'll be doing that. It's not that really reviewing, it's just to appreciate the job what these people are doing. It's not easy in this pandemic to be thinking, and still be able to put something out there. Yeah, there's some of those things that we do not like about the movies, but there are laws that we need to appreciate, to celebrate. And I believe I will be, with some of my people around, we'll be doing justice to that. So, yeah, that is that. Yeah, let's go back to our moving analogy. I think I only have less than 2 minutes now to go. So that is how you move. We've covered three situations today. You make lines on the floor, don't pick them up. Call the ambulance. Report it to your office. When you are giving instruction, please follow the instruction. Don't allow, when they informed you to do A, please don't do B. And when somebody gives you a wrong information, because me being let's say I'm your coordinator, I can give you wrong information. If you know your job very well, you will turn me down. No, that is not the right thing, and I won't do that. Because when problem comes in, it is a verbal thing that we speak on the phone at that particular point in time. You know, we have time to shout, to text or anything. I can deny it. I didn't tell you that. That is when you'll be in a mess. So if you know it is not right for you to lift somebody on the floor, and I give you the instruction to lift that person, please turn my instruction down. Whoever it is, your coordinator, your manager, your supervisor, your anything, turn them down. Because it can cause you an issue later on. But if it is a client that you're very used to, they don't want to have their wash, they don't want to have anything, they don't want to stand up, they will just sit on the floor. You know how to persuade them. Then allow your persuasive skills to set in. Talk to them. Their ringtone, according to people, you must have known their ringtone. You know what they want to hear. Talk to them in that language. They will surely stand up. As I said, there are some clients, whenever you ask them to come and have their wash, they will just sit on the floor. I'm not going anywhere. Because they want to have their wash. So then, it's their choice not to have. But you should also remember self-neglect. There's some people who don't want to do it at all. So you have to draw that line. If that kind of people, you persuade them to do it, and I bet you in the next 5-10 minutes, they will do it. So that is that. And then I share you the video of from standing to sitting. Just if you can go back and still watch that video again, maybe I should play it all over again for you guys, and then you'll be able to know. So if you look at them to the right hand side of me, you just look at them. After that, then I think my time is up. But let me show you what this, and that'll be for today. You can see they move back so that the client can feel the tip of that chair. That is and then you ask them to use their hand as leverage. While you turn 90 degrees. When you turn 90 degrees, then your right hand will be by the shoulder here. So, and then when they are going down, you have to lean. You have to lean. You have to lean. Because you don't just stand there and push somebody. You can push them on that side of the chair too. But when you lean down, you come to their level, and that will be fine for them. So this is where I'll be calling it a day for today. And then if there is anything you want to ask me, just put it on the chat. I will surely attend to it. No questions, just put the question there. I should be able to handle it perfectly. So until next week again, with another topic, probably. From me, Mofi Ojo, have a lovely evening. Bye.